Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Weekly Coldplay. My name is Monica.
My name is Daniel.
And we are a weekly podcast all about...
You guessed it.
Pikachu Oreos.
Yeah, they are yellow, just like Pikachu.
Yeah.
The cookie and the cream.
Oh.
I don't like your implications. I don't want another Vaporeon situation.
No, I've been obsessed with Pokemon as if 24 hours.
Yeah, I know. I've been with you through most of that.
Yeah, well, I'm telling the listener.
Okay.
I just downloaded... Well, okay. How this all started was I was watching some reels, and I'm getting a lot of, Pokemon reels, lately, opening packs and stuff. And then I was like, since I can't get any packs right now, not that I want to collect another card game. I'm already drowning in Star Wars Unlimited. But, not a way to consume space in my reality. I guess I'll just download, I almost said Pocket Monsters Pocket. Pokemon TCG Pocket. And yeah, I've just been opening packs on there. And I got a Vaporeon. Looks pretty dope.
Okay, she got a Tangrowth. It's so cool.
Yeah, I got a Mew EX. That I'm super excited
The other
about.
reason I like Tingle is I just like how they look.
Yeah, they're kind of scary to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't like their mysterious eyes.
I want a plush Tangela, but I don't want it to be a solid body. I want it to be
like that, like a little. He's got a stem toy here.
Kind of, but this is just crochet.
Yeah.
I want it to really be like a tangle, and not something that I could theoretically unravel, but I want it to feel like have layers. Maybe it should be tight, but I should be able to feel where I have thoughts in my head of how the perfect Tangela plush would be.
I'll take a look in Japan. All right, I'll look for you in Japan.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, Pokemon tangent. This week we are talking about Ahmedabad. Look, guys, I learned how to pronounce it, alright? It took me listening to the announcers multiple times.
It took me not processing any of the announcers or Chris and having Monica tell me I was being bad.
Ahmedabad.
Yeah. But now I know how to say Ahmedabad too.
Yeah. And, so we're talking about that show, and then other news and charity. That's it. We also have tour updates, but, that's just the first Ahmedabad show, so...
Yeah, there's, the tiniest bit of information. There is one interesting thing in tour updates, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You remember what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. So, let's get right into it.
Exactly 1 week from right now, we were watching the Ahmedabad show.
Yeah, we were. Wow. So Ahmedabad. It was a stream on Disney Plus Hotstar in India, and
it was on some other places in America.
Yeah, and around the world. All right. Listen, we're not gonna get into it, but. We were able to access it.
Where there is Coldplay fans, there's a way.
Yes. So during the show, there's this little pre-show with hosts talking about Coldplay, how excited they are,
right.
Their favorite songs, guessing the lyrics and stuff, and playing games, getting the people at home hyped for this show.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so here's some quotes from some of the hosts. Being able to watch Coldplay in your home country with your best friends is magical. And that's about how special it is that Coldplay is playing in India. Again, this is the first time that they're playing a stadium show in India. So that's why it's so special. I just can't believe it took till 2025 for them to get there.
I think one of the hosts was complaining that she had spent all this money traveling to another country last year and on the flight and the hotels and everything to see Coldplay, and then they came to where she lived.
Yeah. I get that. That's so real. Except that on this tour, they came to my city first. They came to, they didn't go to Houston first, but we were one of the first shows. I think we were actually the second show on the U.S. tour.
I didn't know you yet. I'm sorry. I don't know.
And then now I'm spending money to go see the Eye of the World over and over and over and over again. So,
Yeah.
Uh,
Here's another quote. This one was about the band and the love they put out. It's so much more than just music. As a band, they actually give you more than just music. They were talking about why Coldplay specifically is so special as like a concert to go watch.
Yeah.
And then there was more with the next quote.
Yeah, which is, we've seen bigger fireworks displays, we've seen bigger LED screens, we've seen better visuals, but no other band has left me with the feeling of love, empathy, and joy as a Coldplay concert did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not in notes at all, but a little anecdote about the pre-show from one of the hosts was, it's one of them. I didn't catch any of their names because I didn't watch the whole pre-show.
Yeah,
I kind of like just tuned in when I woke up.
Yeah.
But I think she's a musician, like a famous musician in India. But she was talking about how she had to lie to her children about where she was going because her young children are such huge fans of Coldplay. Like, big fans, but they're very little, and it was going to be way too late, like way too past their bedtime. They wouldn't be able to function properly. So she had to lie to them about where she was going because otherwise they would have been sobbing at the door begging her to take them with her to see Coldplay.
So the show started, of course, with E.T. Scary.
But the visuals were gorgeous.
Yes.
And they had little bits of these visuals throughout, but like I remember as soon as this started and those visuals started playing, I was so excited. It's been so long since I've watched a stream of a Coldplay concert.
Same.
And unlike you, I haven't ever seen this tour live. Yet. But the visuals were gorgeous and fantastic, and they got me in the mood to hear Coldplay play some songs.
Yeah. And just like the lights, the lights up top were like kind of going crazy.
Yeah, and then the lights go out and I can't explain. And
oh my goodness. Oh my god. There was a Jasprit Bumrah jersey on stage with Will's drums. Yeah. I know that he signed one. We're gonna get into that later during other news, but I know that he had signed a jersey for the band. So of course they started with Music of the Spheres and Higher Power. The stadium is massive. It's just it's a giant bowl.
It's hard to fathom that many people.
I know. But all the
it was over 1 lakh of people, which is, for anyone who's not from India, that is 100,000.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting to me that they did this big show in India from like a math nerd perspective, because India was the first place to really start making up words for really huge numbers. Because math has always been tied into different religions in India.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone's LED bands, Xylo bands, whatever you want to call them. It just looked amazing in that stadium. I mean, just everything just glowed and shined, and it was
shine on.
Yeah, shine on. Hey, Coldplay.
Sorry, not to touch your sore spot.
Listen. Okay. And of course, they played Adventure of a Lifetime, Paradise, The Scientist. Pretty standard, really good stuff. The crowd sounded great.
Yeah.
Really loud during Paradise. For The Scientist, the Ocean's intro into the first chord of The Scientist, I mean, it just hits different. I don't know what it was, but I mean, other than chords and music, probably the same notes, but yeah, it just felt right. It just felt correct.
There was a sign someone had that said "Play the Scientist at my funeral." There was a different sign. It wasn't that Scientist one. I saw it during Songbook. maybe it was the same sign. I didn't read it right, but I just saw someone saying a sign that was like, "Hey, Coldplay, will you play at my funeral?"
Dang, there were multiple people already planning it. All right, y'all. Yeah, and then there was Viva La Vida. Again, as I said, the crowd sounded amazing during the Viva chant. Always love that Viva chant. And then, I mean, you can say this next bit, Daniel.
The sound of Will on the drums. No, yeah, so during the lyrics, instead of being like the sound of drums, it's the sound of Will on the drums. I got so excited and emotional as soon as he said that. It was just like a stupid little Chris being Chris bit, but
it was cute. Him for the weekend. That means no Eterna. Damn. Another day.
Eterna's dead.
No.
Eterna's dead and gone. Coldplay are playing at Eterna's funeral right now.
Please, Coldplay. Phil. I know I say this every episode, but if you're going to listen to any episode of this podcast, let it be this one. I'm begging you. Let the band bring back Eterna. It's all I want. It's what I'm manifesting.
Look, right now, they're still playing Light Club 2024. Light Club 2024 didn't start till halfway through 2024, so give them a bit to catch up.
Oh, my
I'm manifesting
goodness.
Light Club 2025, full
Yeah.
Eterna.
I hope so. And then they're gonna bring back Humankind on the set list.
Yes. God, if I could see Humankind live.
Yeah.
If only we should be so lucky.
Can't relate. Like, I've seen it twice, so. before Daniel beats me up here. During him, there was, like, little confetti that got, like, caught on the camera, though. I thought that was really funny. And then, y'all, all right, songbook time. We already know what it is.
Oh, my God. I was so upset about this.
Episode once more. But... during songbook, looking at all the signs, God, there was like a plethora of signs. There were so many signs.
Yeah, it was like a forest of signs.
Yeah,
I think
forest.
I think Chris picked Everglow because there were so many signs.
Yeah.
He got overwhelmed.
Yeah,
he was like, I can't choose Everglow.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. That is fair. Even
That's
though
like
I don't,
me
I don't
when I'm
agree
at
with
a
it.
restaurant and there's too many things on the menu. Mm-hmm. So then I'm like, the one thing I always get.
Yeah. Lentils.
Yes. Yes.
But some quotes of Chris, on stage as well as, reading the signs here. He sat at the piano and then was greeting everybody on different sides and then just turned around to the people like, sorry, you have to look at my butt. There's a sign that said, "Are you hiring?"
And he said, "Maybe."
One of my favorite signs of the night, which was, "We say hello to your dog." And then once they finally...
the sign said, "My dog is waiting to see me on stage."
Yeah.
And then Chris did not bring them on stage, but just said hi to the dog.
Real. And then once they chose the couple for Everglow,
they had matching signs.
Yeah, and they were professionally done.
Yeah.
And but yeah, they had like a bunch of like stuff on stage, and then Chris just goes, "It's fine. You can just bring all of your paraphernalia." It was just, the way that you said paraphernalia just made me laugh. Like, out of all the words, not stuff. Paraphernalia.
Well, it's Coldplay paraphernalia.
Yeah, I know. It was just funny. And then, so the guy's sign had said, "Oh, this is my third Coldplay show this week. Can I play Everglow with you?" Something like that.
Uh-huh.
And then Chris goes, "This is your third Coldplay concert this week? That's funny because this is my second concert this week. So I don't know where you've been." But yeah, I don't know why the guy counted 3 shows that week. I mean, well, I guess, he might have been at night 1 for Ahmedabad.
Yeah.
And then that would have been...
When was the last Mumbai show?
I don't even remember anymore. that week.
Because that was that week, right?
Or maybe, okay, I think he's counting one Mumbai show and, like, the last Mumbai show and then the both Ahmedabad.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Which now I don't know why Chris was saying it was his second, because I think the last Mumbai show was that week.
I think either Chris counts Sundays as the first day of the week, or Chris just doesn't know when shows are. So I think that's the two options.
Yeah.
But yeah, during Everglow, the fans started playing on the piano.
Which, again, I don't know if I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but I am pretty sure, at least the chatter that I'd heard in Coldplay circles sometime last year was someone was talking about how they wanted to come up and like play Everglow on piano with Chris. Maybe it was the same guy, I don't know. But someone else was responding like, oh, well, the band has like a new policy. They've stopped letting the fans touch any of the instruments. So you can come on stage, but you couldn't play something with them. But this is like the second time we've seen a fan play piano with Chris recently.
Yeah.
So I guess
this
that is
week, yeah.
That's no longer a thing.
Yeah, or maybe that wasn't a thing at all.
And people didn't know what they were saying.
So Chris sang a song after songbook. It was, pardon me if I mispronounce it, Vande Mataram. Yeah, I already know I messed that up.
That's actually, that is kind of what the song's called, but if I could just give some texture, because I was looking it up.
Yeah.
That is the name of a poem that was written by, I really feel bad because I'm going to pronounce this name wrong, but it was written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee in Sanskritized Bengali. And the first two verses of that poem became India's national song. And Chris sang it because it was Republic Day.
Yeah. Maybe he just didn't count that Sunday because it was a holiday. The day doesn't exist at all if it's a holiday.
Well, today doesn't exist. It's my favorite holiday.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we have to find out if Phil sees his shadow. Phil Harvey, I mean. That determines if we get 2 more weeks of Noah Turner.
It determines if we get 2 more weeks of Angel Moon.
2 more weeks of Everglow.
Happy Groundhog Day, everybody.
Especially to Phil Harvey.
Yes. And then they played Charlie Brown. That was the rotational. Yellow, of course. And then before Yellow started, Chris goes, "For anyone suffering, you're amazing." And then after Yellow, so on Disney Plus Hotstar, they were also showing a bunch of ads and stuff. So after Yellow, they played the Pikachu Oreo ad, and it was like, "Look, it's all yellow." I'm like, this feels like it's on purpose.
That is delightful. I didn't even notice that at the time.
It was really funny. And then they played All My Love. Guy Berryman's very cute. Come on now. That's it. That's on my nose for All My Love.
Guy Berryman is very cute.
Yeah.
I have come around on Guy Berryman. I'm sure you're aware already.
Yeah.
But just to clarify, so you don't keep telling people I hate Guy Berryman, because you used to do that. I've come around. I like him. He's cool.
Yeah. The end.
Yeah, the end.
Thanks for listening. Then they played Human Heart, which I forgot that Angel Mood and Donk came out for that. So,
just sidebar, in case you were wondering, his name is Donk and not Gonk. That's all. This isn't targeted. I have no ill will towards anyone who may have called him Gonk 20 times in a row. But his name is Donk with a D, and I love him.
I love him too. And the people of Pride. People of the Pride.
See, when you said it just now, it sounded like people are the Pride.
Yeah, so it's weird because just to that point, I said in my notes for this show, it definitely sounds like Chris is saying people are a Pride, even though I've had this issue before, and he's definitely saying people love the Pride.
No, yeah, it was great. Chris pulled out a pride flag, of course. One of the hosts had mentioned this ahead of time, actually, during the pre-show, they were talking about all the different ways that Chris shows up for different causes, like environmentalism and stuff. And one of them brought up being at a different show recently, maybe Night 1 Ahmedabad, and seeing him pull out the pride flag and being excited that Chris was championing the LGBT community. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now play Jupiter live.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I Am a Mountain, Humankind, and Caloritura.
Yeah. And then they played Clocks, of course, Green Lasers, my favorite thing in the whole wide world. But in that stadium, it just hit different.
Did I?
Okay? Like, it was just so green.
Well,
and
I
lasery.
didn't tell you this. So my dad's boss is in India on a business trip right now.
Okay.
And from her hotel, she could see, she's in Ahmedabad.
Oh,
and
wow.
She could see the lights from the stadium during
cool.
the show.
Oh, that's funny.
The other thing is, I don't know if I've mentioned this to you, but it took me until very recently. I knew that you liked Clocks because of green lasers.
Yeah.
And I knew that you loved the color green.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize until like within the past month or two that those things are connected.
What?
That liking the green lasers and green being your favorite color, those things are connected.
Yeah.
That it was because green's your favorite color and you like green things.
It just looks really cool too.
Right, but I just didn't notice the connection.
Like green, yeah.
Like Kermit. And Elphaba.
Wait, Kermit doing the Elphaba. Wait.
That's my line.
That's my line. It's not a very good Kermit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all the Muppet
it's
lovers.
A great Kermit.
Sorry to all the Muppet lovers. R.I.P. Muppet Vision. And I want to say Disneyland. It might be Orlando. I think it's Disneyland though. Anyway, rip.
They should make a Weirdos themed ride.
Yeah. No.
It's a horror ride. It removes the jump scare.
She pops out. Put on your moon Okay, I hope that this is the first one that Phil's listening to. I'm making fun of Angel Moon. I mean, we're always making fun of Angel Moon, but
we love her.
Yes. No, she's a gay icon.
Yes.
Angel Moon's a gay icon. I love her. Okay.
Angel Moon is like the Babadook.
I'm gonna wear that shirt. Angel Moon is my Babadook.
Imagine if you go up for a songbook, Chris reads your shirt and goes, "What do these words mean? What's a Babadook?"
No, listen, you have to be part of the community to know, alright? Oh, we're going in June too?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'd be like, yeah, if you say anything about this, you're homophobic. And so we pray.
For someone to come and show me the way.
And so we pray.
For some shelter and some records to play.
Alright. So, the piano intro into We Pray just sounded amazing. You know, it always sounds amazing. Eliana Jocelyn Royal. I think I pronounced it Royale last week, and I don't know why. I think I was thinking of Joey Royale. Shout out. And Shone joined the band on stage. And it was Light Club. And for Light Club, Chris.
I guess we don't need to mention it again. This was my first time hearing Jocelyn Royal's verse.
Yeah.
And I really loved it. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
That's all. I saw a lot of Coldplay fans giving Jocelyn Royal a lot of hate during that song, and it really bothered me because she did a great job. And I just wanted to say I really loved her verse.
Yeah. Okay. Peace and love, everybody.
Yeah, if you're giving hate to these artists performing with Coldplay, you're missing the whole point of Coldplay.
Yeah. Peace and love. But as I was saying, the Christopher Anthony John Martin, listen, if you're going to tease Caloritura, then you better play it. Because Chris, before Light Club, was just like, and it was
That's why everyone was going on about Caloritura.
Yes. Yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah. I also missed it because I was so excited about Light Club.
Yeah.
As I usually am. But anyway, I love Light Club. Love y'all forever. And then something just like this with Breakaway, security guard bit still there. Lasers and screen looks amazing. And during Breakaway, Chris was kind of like doing like a techno part. I don't remember exactly how it went, so I'm just gonna do it like I'm singing Sandstorm by Darude. It was something similar like that, but he was like doing like
Something
techno.
just like this.
Yeah, he was doing like techno noises.
Now in my head, my memory has been replaced, so Chris was just singing Sandstorm by Darude.
You know what he was? You know, maybe I bring you a sign that says, hey, sing Sandstorm by Darude.
Don't play Sandstorm by Darude. Sing Sandstorm by Darude.
Sing Sandstorm by Darude. Angel Moon is my Babadook. Chaotic shirt sign combo. And then it was My Universe. Chris stopped the song because someone was getting squished in the crowd. And he said, please make sure you're looking out for each other.
I am terrified of getting crushed by a crowd.
Yeah. Me too. However, thankfully, I will knock on some wood, but that messes with the microphone. And also, I don't have any wood, but there you go. Knock. But, oh wait, there's wood, like, right behind me. No. Alright. Thankfully that hasn't happened to me yet at a U.S. show, so... hopefully it won't happen.
And for the listeners at home, Monica is small.
Yeah, I'm 4'11".
So
Angel Moon sized.
Yeah. Babadook's.
Babadook's sized. Yeah. But yeah. And then there was a Sky Full of Stars, but I don't know why they stopped it weird. And then Chris was just singing Sky Full of Stars a cappella.
Yeah, it was.
It just kept going.
Like the band cut out. And, like, everything turned off. But Will just kept singing. No. Chris kept singing. Will was just shaking his head at Chris.
Yeah.
And then Chris, like, didn't do the fake out thing. He was just like, guys, we don't need our phones for this.
Yeah. It was just very awkward transition.
And then, for the very first time in India, Chris did not mention Jasprit Bumrah.
Oh, yeah. Well.
During A Sky Full of
Stars. Yes. And then C Stage, Sparks. Chris went on and on and on about how they were all born in India or whatever.
Yeah,
it was a very weird bit.
No, because I didn't get it. And so, like, we were on the phone at this point because Monica's stream had crashed, so I was helping her out. But, like, I'm autistic, all right, Chris? And sometimes your bits, like, about your children not being related to you or about the whole band being born in India, I was just like, what's he... They weren't actually born in India, right, Monica? I don't get what he's doing. It feels weird. Like, I don't actually know if this is even okay.
Yeah, I don't know what Chris was going on about.
Alternate universe Coldplay, where they were all born in India.
Yeah.
The thing about Guy looking like he was Scottish, but...
Yeah. And then... I think he, like, started the bit because he thought it was funny, and then he just had to keep going because he said that they were all born in India, and then it just went on for too long. Anyway, Chris, come on now. But then it was Jumbotron. Well, like everyone, it was Jasprit Bumrah.
He showed up.
Wow.
Everyone was surprised and shocked and amazed.
Yeah. They played his bowling on this Jumbotron again.
I unlocked a fear that if Jumbotron picks me, Chris will misgender me because he calls everyone like brother or sister during Jumbotron, or at least he did during that specific show.
Yeah.
That's all. That's scary.
No, we're gonna bring pronoun signs.
And Chris, what are you gonna do if there's non-binary people at your show? Just think about it.
Yeah, come on. Come on, my brother.
Yeah. I mean, you could say my sibling. That would be great. But just, I don't know. I know you mean well, but you just look at people and guess, and sometimes it doesn't work out. People look at me and guess all the time, and it ruins my day sometimes. Mm-hmm.
So, Phil, if there's any episode you're going to listen to, it's this one.
The one with the Babadook.
Yeah. Yep. Fix You with beautiful intro. Beautiful was cut out because of commercials. I thought that was really funny. I know I keep saying it, but the stadium looks absolutely gorgeous, and I was at the moment I was crying when I was writing the notes. I was sobbing. It was good feelings, and I had Eliana on stage. She was singing Ira Star's bit, but in Arabic.
Okay, and another note to Coldplay fans. Peace and love to all of you. We're all part of the same community. But people had a lot of hate for Eliana singing in Arabic. And I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's like a lack of comprehension here about what Coldplay are doing with their music.
Yeah. Come on, y'all.
It was beautiful and it was exciting and fun. I enjoyed seeing something different. And
just let her sing.
It doesn't all have to be in English all the time. That's the point, guys.
Yeah. And then Chris, a.k.a. the security guard, Electric Universe, he was on stage dancing as well during Good Feelings. And lastly, it feels like I'm falling in love. And yeah, I love this band. Believe in Love with the wristbands. Looked amazing. Shout out Shaheem. Yeah, and that was the show.
That was the show.
Yeah. Yeah, there was after the show, there was a headline that said, bromance between Coldplay's Chris Martin and Jasper Boomra. And then there was a video of Chris's dad videoing the audience during the show. It was very sweet. I saw it on, like, Good Morning America, too, so it's been global. And then the broadcast itself had passed 8.3 million views.
I know, I don't think they hit it, but I know they were trying to set a world record for most concurrent viewers of a live streamed concert. Maybe that hit it. I don't know what the world record line was, but that is impressive.
Yeah, that is wild. So, shout out to Coldplay.
All right, and now we're going to get right into other news. During the band's break between shows in India, Will was spotted at the restaurant Cavatina in Goa. I hope I pronounced those words right. He took photos with the owner and with fans. It was very cute, and I didn't know about this, and I'm obsessed. Anyway, that's all.
India's Prime Minister said this about Coldplay and their shows in India. Quote, you must have seen fabulous pictures of Coldplay concert organized in Mumbai and Ahmedabad. It shows that India has a massive scope for live concerts. Big artists from around the world are attracted towards India.
Yeah.
So, hopefully there's bigger concerts in India.
That reminds me of another thing the hosts were saying of, like, one of the reasons they were so excited to have Coldplay there playing this huge show is because Coldplay was going to be there playing this record-setting show with all these fans putting all this love and energy, and they were hoping lots of bands would see how much excitement and energy the fans were putting towards the show, and then they would see India has such great supportive fans. India's the place to go. India's the place to play because we've got these great fans who are gonna love your show and have all this energy and make it an exciting time. I think it's great that Coldplay can like set these standards that are then gonna help places attract more musicians in the future. Jasprit Bumrah posted a reel of himself attending the Coldplay concert, along with the caption, "This was an experience of a lifetime. Thank you for all the love at Coldplay, and congratulations on your super successful shows in India. We'll see you soon."
It's a Coldplay reference.
Also, he said experience of a lifetime. Close enough.
Yeah. Last week we reported that Chris had a little scooter ride in India. The scooter driver had been identified, and his name is Malay Adalja. Sorry if I mispronounced her name. He posted a video of him recounting the story of how he met Chris. Malay noticed four guys just walking around and recognized that one of them was Chris. He went up to Chris and asked for a photo. He said, okay, but, on one condition, of course, Chris asked to ride the scooter, and they rode for about
That's so Chris more of like some fan wants a photo and you're like, okay, but let me ride around on your scooter. No, because that is the thing me and Chris have in common. That makes me like Chris a lot, because I would do this and you would get really annoyed with me.
No, go ahead.
I feel like you'd be scared for my safety.
No, if you're not the one driving it, I think that's okay. But anyway, so they rode for about 150 meters, whatever that means in US. And then Chris and Malay had a bit of a conversation. Was asking him, what's your name? Where are you from? How long have you been, driving scooters? And then asked, oh, are you going to one of my concerts? And then Malay was just like, no, sorry, I don't have any tickets to the show. And Chris was like, okay, well, here's 2 tickets to my show. And the best part is that the tickets for the show actually landed on Malay's birthday. Yeah. So that was the coolest freaking thing. Like, yeah, I'm over the moon about that story. It's just very sweet.
Over the moon music.
Oh my god.
All My Love has now reached 40 million streams on Spotify. It's the 3rd song from Moon Music to do so, after, I'm guessing, Fliffle and We Pray.
Yes, yeah. Just all the singles. Can you imagine? No, actually, it's One World and Alien Hits Alien Radio. Coldplay broke the record for the largest ever stadium shows in the 21st century with the 2-day Ahmedabad shows. There was an estimated 100,000, as we said earlier, plus attendees at both concerts. I think it estimated like 134,000. So
that is definitely more than one lock.
Yeah.
Coldplay have set the record for the highest attended music tour in history. That is a whopping 10.3 million attendees and 10.3 million trees planted.
Yeah, that's just incredible. Man, and they just keep going, so it's just going to keep breaking records.
It's interesting to think about those trees that get planted for the Coldplay concert and how they will grow up over time.
Yeah.
As this tour will end eventually, but those trees are gonna stay around. And sorry, I'm just tearing up at the impact that this band has on the world and the planet and the people. Oh, I'm getting way too emotional all of a sudden over some trees.
No, but I mean, it's true. That's 10.3 million. That is incredible. And still counting, that is just up and through 2025, right? I'm sure there's still going to be stuff announced for next year as well. So, again, this band is doing incredible things. Speaking of incredible things, Project Seagrass is hosting a creative contest to win 5 pairs of tickets to Coldplay shows at Wembley this year. And a quote from them is, to enter the competition, we're seeking inspiring, impactful, and creative designs that communicate one of the 5 following themes. 1. The importance of seagrass. 2. Seagrass and people. 3. Seagrass around the world. 4. Seagrass at risk. And 5. Seagrass life. The deadline is on February 16th, and we'll have a link for this competition in our description.
Chris will be performing tonight, February 2nd, on the Grammys. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
We'll see how good it is.
Yeah. And then Chris will be performing at the opening ceremony of the Invictus Games at BC Palace in Vancouver on February 8th.
All right, so the Invictus Games that Chris is performing at the opening ceremony for, they are an international multi-sport event. It started in 2014, and it's held for wounded, injured, and sick military service personnel, both serving and veterans, which is actually really cool. I did not know about that at all. Chris will perform again. He's booked and busy, always working, on SNL's 50th anniversary special on Valentine's Day, February 14th.
Yeah. So, cuddle up with your loved ones, or if you're single, like some of us, cuddled up with a cardboard cutout of your favorite celebrity. Watch the SNL 50th
Look,
anniversary special.
that can be our Valentine's Day plans because I got nothing else I'm gonna be doing.
All right, sure. And then Coldplay, they performed on BBC Radio 2's Piano Room recently, and the show will be aired on Radio 2 on February 3rd. That's the day that this podcast comes out, at 11:45 a.m. GMT. You can do the conversions yourself. And then the full extended show will be on BBC One on February 5th at 22:40 p.m. GMT, aka 10:40. I had to ask Siri because I couldn't do the math.
I will say, I am sorry to nitpick and correct you, but there is no such time as 22:40 p.m.
I mean, you know what I mean. What,
Yeah.
22:40? It was at 12 a.m. that I was writing this.
No, I know, but I just processed just now,
Yeah.
and I was like, military time.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I was already thinking about 10:40, and I
No,
just wrote the
no,
PM.
peace and love. It's the same as last night when Joe said Old Lang Syne, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
Joe, I promise I'm not trying to be nitpicky, but it's Old Lang Syne.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the news.
That's the news.
All right, tour news. Will had a photo of his drum set with a badly drawn ball. Quote. That's a quote from Will. For cricket, and mentioned Jasper Bumrah in his post.
And you may remember we talked about this cute little photo of Chris in Mumbai in front of
Yeah.
a window that said Paradise. We didn't know there's another picture from Mumbai. It's the rest of the band without Chris. Will, Guy, and Johnny. In my mind, what it is Chris takes the picture. They're all offended that they didn't get invited. So they're like, oh, well, screw this guy. We'll all go do it ourselves. And so then they line up and take a picture. It was very adorable. I think I might like that one better than the Chris one.
Yeah, and then Ahmedabad night one. It was the same set list.
Yeah.
The end.
Including rotational Charlie Brown, including songbook Everglow.
Yeah.
Ahmedabad got, the classic, which is fine.
Yeah.
With really big shows, I can understand why Chris would want to do that.
Yeah.
And that's all of tour news.
Yeah.
So now, the last bit of our show, since we don't have a sponsor, don't make any money, we highlight a different charity every month. It's a new month, new charity. This month, we're going to be highlighting Good 360, which, sidebar, by the way, we sometimes have ideas for these charities, sometimes don't. If you're listening and you have any charities that are near and dear to your heart or you feel like deserve to be amplified or shared with more people, please email us at weeklycoldplay@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
We would love any charity recommendations or submissions. We know that, our view of things can be narrow of what we run into. So if you know of something that we might not, we'd love to see it and feature it on our podcast.
Yeah, or just email us and I don't know, I'll chat with you.
Yeah, email us to argue or agree, talk about why Angel Moon is better than Babadook. I don't. Look, we're down.
Yeah.
So, Good 360, you can find them at good360.org. We'll put the link in the episode description as per usual. Good 360's mission is to close the need gap to open opportunity for all. They're a charity focused on addressing the fact that despite our world having more than enough resources to go around, millions of people are in critical need every day. They distribute donated goods and products directly to people in need. So how they were founded, in 1983, there was a corporation that wanted to donate, I think it was either 12 or 17 million, I didn't write down the exact number, a huge amount of office supplies to an organization called United Way. But United Way had never received such a large donation before, and they didn't have the resources to distribute it to the people who might need it. So they created a new organization. It had a different name back then, but it was this organization, Good 360, that was specifically focused on distributing donated goods from companies to whatever nonprofits or individuals needed it most to get them to the right place. Any donation that you, the consumer, might make, like a monetary donation, those are all tax deductible. And something that I think is really cool and interesting, they're able to maximize donations by up to 30 times. What that means is that if you donate $100, that means that they can distribute $3,000 worth of goods to people. So they're able to take your donations and maximize the impact that those have. They focus with like specific disaster relief things. So like right now you can donate specifically, we'll talk more about this, but you can donate specifically to help with the Southern California wildfire relief, or you can donate to help with Hurricane Helene relief right now, or you can choose to send it wherever it's needed most, and they will distribute it to what is needed for upkeep and maintenance of the charity and what is needed to get these goods directly to the people who are in critical need and the communities that are experiencing these need gaps. And when they're able to reduce that need gap, that's able to build resilience in the communities and give people more opportunities to flourish on their own.
Yeah. Thank you, Daniel.
You're welcome.
Again, you can find them at good360.org. The description will be... Wait. The link will be in the description.
The description will be in the link.
All right. And we're just going to kind of end it on that note. Thank you for listening. It's a big chunky week this week. But yeah, if you're listening, you're amazing.
Yeah, we hope you're okay.
Yeah.
And we love you.
Yeah. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Yeah, that's all. My name is Monica.
My name is still Daniel.
And we are Weekly Coldplay. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to Weekly Coldplay. For more Coldplay content from us, check us out on Twitter at Weekly Coldplay and Instagram at weekly.coldplay. That is weekly, Coldplay. And if you like what you hear, give us a follow on wherever you're listening to this podcast on. Thank you again, and we'll be back next week with more Coldplay news.